From Omro down to Mayville, from Rosendale to the Ledge, and everywhere in between, it's time to get you caught up on everything happening in the Flyway Conference. This is the Flyway Focus Sport Report, your home for the best whip-around coverage of your favorite local teams. Now, with all the latest, here's Jordan King.
Good Monday morning to you. We are back. Flyway Focus is back for 24-25 school year, and last week football got our fall season underway. Week 1 was a great one for the conference. Flyway teams going 6-2, including a couple of statement wins against good competition. Let's start in Lomira, where the Lions are one of 3 or 4 teams that I think can win the conference this year, and they started this campaign with a bang. Lomira 49-15 winners against Houston on Friday night. That a revenge game after Houston knocked the Lions out in heartbreaking fashion last season in the playoffs. Lomira, one of 7 teams that replaced its starting quarterback in the conference this year. Jackson Gable said no problem. The Lions, 426 total yards of offense. Gable accounted for 228 of those yards and 4 touchdowns, 2 throwing and 2 rushing. Prior to the season, Gable said he was ready for the added responsibility of starting QB.
It's everything just to have my coach's trust to be the quarterback and be running the show. I just got to take care of the ball and, like I said, get the ball out and to our athletes who are open and just make the easy read every play.
Running back Taylor Schaumburg helped out, 150 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns for him. Caden Yankee had 85 yards receiving and a score. Mayville got a big-time win in Week 1, 33-28 on the road against a good Cedar Grove Belgium team. Ryan Clark won the quarterback job for the Cards in preseason, and he threw for 101 yards and a touchdown while rushing for another 2 TDs. Jordan Schlender accounted for 103 total yards and a receiving touchdown. Coach Scott Hilbert said the Cardinals plan to get Schlender more involved this season.
He's a calm kid. He's very cool in his demeanor, but he just performs, and he's consistent, and he brings it every single day. We're definitely looking to get the ball more in his hands because he's a dynamic athlete, both as a runner and a pass receiver. So we want to get more touches in him, and that's going to be a primary for us.
Mayville also got 106 rushing yards from Sawyer Hardesty. He rushed for 2 touchdowns. Perennial favorites St. Mary Springs got an opening week win. Lake Country Lutheran gave the Ledgers a little bit of a battle, but Springs eventually pulled away with a 35-12 win. Excellent defensive night for the Ledgers. Starting defense gave up just 6 points. Ben Anderson was the top quarterback in the conference based on yards, 143 yards and a touchdown for Anderson. He also led Springs on the ground. How about the North Fondy Orioles? The tune up in North Fondy is changing. Let me tell you, you can certainly tell that when you're talking with head coach Ybarra and some of his players. He's excited with what he has this year, and after Week 1, the Orioles have a winning record. They went down to Whitefish Bay High School and knocked off Dominican 26-25 last Thursday. An excellent rushing attack got it done. The Orioles rushed 57 times for 340 yards. That's a 6-yard per carry average. Junior captain Dimitri Reed had 147 of those yards and a touchdown. Jesse Handel had 171 yards on the ground and another rushing score. Laconia also got a Week 1 road win. The Spartans trouncing Ripon on Friday night, 42-7 the final. Drake Nitz takes over for Keaton Grotti this year. He threw for 102 yards and a pair of touchdown passes. All of that passing production going to Nick Blank. Jack Renz added 80 yards and 2 TDs on the ground. Similar story for Campbellsport, which was all over Green Bay West, 48-7 the final there. Quarterback Braden Booty tossed 3 touchdown passes, 2 going to Cullen Reese and 1 going to running back Riley Coleman. Coleman was the Cougars' leading rusher as well with 86 yards. Trenton Schladweiler added 77 yards on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Those were the winners. Winnebago Lutheran struggled mightily offensively in Week 1 against Kettle Moraine Lutheran at home. They got nothing going until a fourth-quarter touchdown from Frankie Wiedmeyer. The Vikings trying to figure out life after having so many seniors last season, 14 that they lost. They gained just 122 yards offensively. They lose 21-6 to Kettle Moraine Lutheran. And Omro had a tough one on Friday, 42-0 drubbing at the hands of Berlin. The Foxes struggled even worse offensively, going just 1 for 10 on 3rd down and gaining just 66 yards all night. Wyatt Powers had a nice night on the defensive side. He had 7 tackles. So a good start for Flyway teams. That's it for this morning's report. Soccer and volleyball can begin games tomorrow, and the slate really starts to fill up then. We'll preview all of that coming up tomorrow morning. A reminder, these sports reports will air each morning, Monday through Saturday, on Spotify and YouTube. Hit subscribe on your platform of choice to be notified when the report goes live each morning. For the Flyway Focus Sports Report, I'm Jordan King. Have an excellent week.